Wow, folks, welcome. We are live on a Sunday afternoon, okay? And or nighttime, wherever you're at. Folks, today is super exciting. I know you see this man on the screen, Mr. J. Cameron, founder, CEO, playwright, author, any entrepreneur,
There's a whole host of
philanthropist,
things.
everything under the sun. This man is, and we are so grateful for this opportunity for him to be live. He's going to answer your questions personally. But before we get into it, of course, I want to thank my patrons. Let me read you guys off by name because you know I like to call you guys out because I'm so appreciative of the monthly contributions. Let's start with Angela Adams. Um, Angela Adams, BCB, Amari, so grateful for you guys. Another one is Andrew Graham, Super Hydrating Water, Bennett, Tina, Black Orchid, Sunkissed, Reed Love, and Calvin Daniels. I thank you guys for your patronage, for your consistent contributions. You guys make this keep on going, right? And keep me motivated. So, folks, as you can see, it's the question and answer session. So it's going to be a presentation. Jay Cameron's going to present. Have your questions, type your questions out because we're going to get to the questions at the end because within the presentation, I'm pretty sure he'll answer that. And then we'll answer the ones that he didn't cover at the end. So I know you guys already saw the video. They're already looking happy in Africa, right? So this is just the beginning. And Jay Cameron, go ahead and share what you want and let's get it
well,
started.
first I want to thank you for welcoming me to your audience, and we're going to have a good time because a lot of people have been wondering how they can travel to Africa, and they can actually travel to Africa by way of this link right here at the bottom of the screen. Our partnership with you here at Maximum Impact
Yes.
Travel, and this is what it's really all about: being able to bridge the gap. That's what we talk about. And for so many people, they wonder how they can do it. They don't think they can do it. They think it's too much for them to take on. And so we're going to talk about several different destinations that you can travel to, and actually how it's not as difficult as what it appears to be. And that's because
Right.
we walk you through the process, we help you along the way, and we have taken hundreds of people back to the continent over the past several years, and we've taken them to multiple locations. And so we want you to be a part of it, and that's why we're here with Leslie. So what I want you to do is put the link below, right there, bit.ly/LJ Destinations.
Yes.
That's how you're going to be able to plug into this. This link is going to be very important because what we're doing special for your audience, Leslie. I
Tell
don't know
them.
if should I let the cat out the bag right now? Should I
Go ahead and release the cat.
release the cat? Yeah, release the
Release
cat.
it.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, we'll we'll let you know. Here we go. Here's the cat right here. This is before I've even told you about the trips that you can become a part of. But if you use this link right here, this is the only way you get this discount. This link right here, bit.ly
The
forward
only
slash
way.
LJ Destinations, $400 off if you sign up by midnight, April 25th, 2023. That's how
That's
it's
a big
going.
deal, folks.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
big
big deal.
deal.
It's
We're
a
not here to
big
play
deal.
with you. We want you to be on the motherland. A lot of us haven't been back in over 400 years, including myself and my family. This is an opportunity for not just you, but you to change your legacy, literally, to go back to where we originated from. And if you're not African descendant, you are welcome as well.
Absolutely. And we have lots of people who come on our trips who are not obvious descendants of Africa. That's maybe another way to say that. Because we do have people who are from European heritage who've been born in Africa. But we're talking
Right.
about those who are most identifiable. They would call them African or descendants of Africa. Anybody's welcome to go on these trips, and you'll feel comfortable. One thing before we get into this is to, if you go to that link, you'll be able to see, this is what you can expect when you go to that link. You're going to see a page that comes up like this, and it says destinations. And when it says destinations, then what ends up happening is it says uniting people, and you begin to scroll and see everything. That's it, bit.ly forward slash LJ Destinations. You get to see all the trips: Egypt, South Africa, Kenya, Seychelles, Tanzania. Ghana,
Yes.
Senegal, the Gambia, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Togo, Benin. And so these are the destinations that you can select from. And again, if you sign up, as we've been telling you, you sign up before midnight, April 25th, 2023. That's $400 off.
$400 off, just in case you didn't hear. With that
$400.
link only. This is an exclusive deal for you. I just want to say hi to BCB, Angela Adams, Cassandra, and Paul. We see you. I salute you all. Go ahead.
Hey, Paul, I'm looking at everybody here too. Salute to you as well. And so, again, what we also want you to do is to forward this link, share this link with others. You know, that's going to be important. Share the link, spread the word, and let people know what's going on. So, all right, so let's get into this. Let's take our first step in Tanzania. Take a look. Tanzania, welcome everybody to Tanzania. Now, does everybody know the theme for this trip is to what? Relax and what? Enjoy. So I think everybody can tell we're going to have a good time already.
Apply the heat and the balloon will rise.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Man, the drop line, it was special. It was special.
I think it's important for us to come back to our continent. It's just been beautiful, being able to see all of the nature, all of the animals. It feels like I'm in a movie, I said. The natural landscape is beautiful, the water is beautiful, the people are beautiful. It's just been amazing. I personally feel like storytelling is the only way that a lot of our history has ever been remembered, was oral storytelling, and that's why I wanted to come here to see the stories about my culture. I feel like these are just stories that I want to tell. I don't know, I just love storytelling.
This trip has meant a lot for me, especially growing up as a kid. I always went to all-black school, so we always learned to embrace our heritage and know who we are as people. So I think just coming here reminded me of what I learned as a kid and being in that school. And since I'm going back to that school to teach in the fall, now I get to take that back and I get to actually instill it into my kids as a people, because we don't know who we are, where we came from technically. So I think being able to take that back to my kids and show them examples that they can actually use in their life and just be proud of themselves. I think it's important to come here to really change your mindset about the world around you. I feel like my age group, I guess, is stuck in ourselves. We're social media and all that. We're always stuck in our own little bubble, our own little world, and we're so self-centered. And I feel like coming here makes you think of others and how, I don't know, just people around the world and how the world works in a different way than just it being about you. I think last thing, just everybody should just come at least once, and every part is different. Not all of Africa is exactly the same. So I feel like definitely come more than once, but at least come once.
I don't know if I should say this on camera, but we've been deceived a lot about Africa. And the utmost respect for the people here, they've been kind. I mean, ever since I put my foot on Africa, the people just been soft, kind, consistent in their kindness.
Harry was not excited. I'm like, the day before, I'm like, you excited to go on the trip? He's like, no.
Never been to Africa, never had an interest too much in Africa, just busy doing what I do in America. And so, it was not something that I, just really wanted to do.
Funny to watch him go from being totally wound up and uptight, not wanting to be here. First day on the Serengeti, he's like not looking at the animals. By the second day, he's jumping up, looking out the window, taking pictures. So it was a process.
And I would tell everybody how people are over here. They need to see it. I mean, it's amazing. It touches my heart.
Well, let me say this, everybody. Just a little sneak peek. That's inside of Tanzania. I'm going to walk you down into Tanzania a little bit more, but just to let you know, just to give you a little insight, I know Leslie talked a little bit about it, but just so you know who you're talking to, my name is Jay Cameron. I'm an author, entrepreneur, speaker, playwright, all that good stuff. And I have, just to put a little bit more on it, I have been featured on all of these different media outlets. I have a passion for sharing the continent of Africa with others because we need to know, and I believe that it's incredibly important. Also, I have ventured to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. That is one of my major achievements there. I've been to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. Also, been to 21 different African countries, and I firmly believe in bridging the gap. That's what it's all about, bridging the gap. And we do that by way of these trips. And with these trips, what ends up happening is you begin to understand and see. For me, my first trip to Africa was in 2018, November 2018. I went to Ghana. When I went to Ghana, I realized how misinformed I was in America. The different things they told us over the years, you don't want to go there. The people aren't going to like you. They're going to see you differently. And when I went and I saw for myself, what ended up happening is I discovered how much of that information was inaccurate. So as a result of that, what I did, I said, you know what, other people need to see this, other people need to know, and that's what we did. And so that's when we kicked off Maximum Impact Travel. So with that said, I want to take you to help you understand what it looks like inside of one of our trips. Take a look at this.
It's about time. Time for yet another African adventure. And the destination is Tanzania and Zanzibar. We're taking you to the cradle of mankind, to the landscape that inspired the Lion King, to the heartland of the Maasai, then to some of the most pristine beaches in the world for a tropical paradise where you'll swim, sail, and watch dolphins play. Saying this trip is going to be an adventure is an understatement. The sights, the culture, the Black history is an invaluable life experience that frankly should be required of everyone. And we cannot wait to take you there.
Beautiful, wonderful.
I've been to Tanzania, even had the privilege of viewing the world from the highest peak in Africa on Mount Kilimanjaro. This experience was enlightening on a level I did not expect. And this is what we want you to be a part of, to relax and enjoy one of the most beautiful and meaningful landscapes in the world and to create memories that you can pass through generations. So how do we get the party started? We'll be kicking off our adventure in mainland Tanzania, a country in East Africa. Every country on the continent is unique, with distinct people, culture, and history. The best way to fully understand the context and frame of the right perspective is to be a part of it. This is not to say we can't learn and have fun. We've mixed up the itinerary with loads of R&R, and in the end, you'll have sampled the best in Tanzania's world-famous hospitality. What's going on, everybody? This is Jay. I'm now here in East Africa, and Tanzania is a country that I came to that literally changed my life. I want to show it to you, and that's what this East African adventure is all about. We're going to go spend some time in the Serengeti, then we're going to Zanzibar. And that's just a small part of East Africa, a small part of Tanzania. There's so much more, but this is a great introduction so that you can come see for yourself. Your adventure begins as soon as you land at Kilimanjaro International Airport, from where you can see the icy peaks of Mount Kilimanjaro. On day one, that's the day you arrive in Tanzania, not depart the US, you'll be picked up from the airport and taken to the hotel to check in, rest, enjoy the hotel's amenities, and shake off the day's travel before the welcome dinner later that evening. Bright and early the following morning, we are off to the Serengeti National Park. This overland park trip will involve long hours of driving on rough road. It will be physically demanding. However, the safari trucks are comfortable and we'll take breaks to stretch and take pictures.
Seeing something that this magnificent is awesome.
Unless you have a severe physical condition, the rough and tumble is manageable and well worth it. While people across all ages are welcome, parents should note that the trip is not tailored for children under 5. If you make the choice to bring them, which you can, be mindful that you will be solely responsible for their specific needs. Saying the Serengeti is magical doesn't begin to describe it. Consider that it is the backdrop that inspired the Lion King movie, and you'll begin to get the picture. As custom dictates, you simply don't take a tour of someone else's home without being invited in, so naturally we'll be heading straight to the Maasai village. The Maasai are one of the few and last indigenous tribes that are holding on to their customary way of life. Being welcomed among them will be a rare chance to interact with the ritual and ceremony of nomadic life. We'll finish day 2 by checking into a luxury tented camp, which is a fully furnished and self-sustaining facility, offering the comforts of a lodge without taking away from the unique and rustic safari experience. The stillness, the darkness, the crickets, the sun rays streaming into your tent at sunrise. This is what peace feels like. It's day 3, and today you get to spend the whole day on safari. Serengeti is home to Africa's Big 5, the lion, the leopard, the buffalo, the elephant, and the rhino. But this is not only about game viewing. Driving through the endless landscape is, by itself, an experience that some have referred to as emotional. Day 3 also comes with an option to purchase a hot air balloon ride. Now, if driving through the Serengeti is magical, flying over it is divine. We want to get you on that safari truck. We want you on that hot air balloon. We are bridging the gap between the dream and reality. It's day 4, and today we are venturing even further into the Serengeti, arriving at the Ngorongoro crater and the Olduvai Gorge. Both sites are volcanic formations where archaeologists have found remains of the earliest humans. This is quite literally the cradle of mankind. It's now time to leave mainland Tanzania and fly to Zanzibar, the island of spices. After 4 days on safari, the sea breeze and sandy beaches will be a welcome change of pace. While we'll get to rest, relax, and engage in some water-based excursions, Zanzibar also offers some insightful cultural and environmental experiences. It is not called Spice Island for nothing. The Spice Tour is a chance to touch, smell, and taste organic cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon, and learn how they are grown and processed. Because of the large tourist and expat crowd, you will find food that is familiar to your palate. But we are on an exploration mission, and Zanzibar is the place to take this culinary journey. Zanzibar's Swahili cuisine is influenced by centuries of trade and immigration between Arab and Indian subcontinents. So we are talking rich, spicy, hearty, and of course tropical. The standard payment package is breakfast inclusive only, so remember to bring a minimum of $300 to $500 per person to cover any extra costs, including lunches, dinner, shopping, tips, and any activities not included on the trip's itinerary. Many of the smaller local businesses operate with cash, but a few of the more established facilities such as hotels and mall stores may accept Visa credit cards. You can exchange currency and buy phone SIM cards at the airport. The hotels are Wi-Fi connected for when, let's be honest, you want to get your social media friends envious of your African adventure. We often think of wildlife conservation in relation to the Big Five, but it's important to learn how smaller species of plants and animals contribute to the delicate preservation of life. The spice trade off the East African coast goes back to the 8th century when Persians arrived and built the first stone settlements. This trading history is directly linked to a darker, less talked about past, the Arab slave trade. If you fancy a full immersion into the history of Zanzibar, Stone Town is the place to go. With its century-old architecture and narrow streets, Stone Town is a lively blend of Arab and Swahili culture with a touch of the modern. You will also have the opportunity to visit Prison Island to learn more about the slave trade, feed the giant tortoises, or for a lighter touch, simply lay on the beach and sunbathe. It's day 8. Does it feel as if it's coming to an end? Yes. That's why today is all about sun and sand and, wait for it, swimming with the dolphins if you desire. Well, maybe not swimming with the dolphins exactly, but at some point during the day, we'll cross the bay at the heart of the dolphin sanctuary and you'll get to see them play and swim. As the sun sets, it'll be time to sail into the sunset and back to the city. Our adventure is coming to an end, but our whole new perspective of the world, its people, and of nature is just beginning. And there you have it. I cannot say this enough. Some experiences are invaluable. What this experience did for me, the clarity and the awakening that happens every time I go to Africa, far outweighs the investment in money. I will say that again. And this is what I want for you. And we cannot wait to take you there.
Well, there you have just a little bit. That's Tanzania right there. Even though that's a lot, there's a lot going on in Tanzania, and you can be a part of it. And we're going to give you a rundown on several trips that we have. But one thing I want to address are some of the concerns that people have, because they think, well, okay, I'm too old to travel. I can't do this. I can't do that. It's too much happening. Well, I want to introduce you to Miss Ann and listen to what she has to say about her experience in Egypt.
I realized that for me to fully participate and be able to walk and do all of the walking and visit all of the pyramids and to visit the temples, I would have to be physically in better shape than I was. So I lost 32 pounds after I signed up. I started walking every day. My lab tests are phenomenal. My doctors at the lab actually wrote handwritten notes on it and said, "Girl, what are you doing? How do you do this? What's happening? It's better than it's ever been. We are so proud of you. Keep it up." It made me feel I'm not only competent to do this, but that I can do this. So I know that I can, and I have. I've walked all the way to the top of the pyramids and inside at Giza and the Great Pyramid, which was a challenge. You did have to walk uphill and bend over like this all part of the way. But it was worth it to say that I actually did that. You know, walking these distances is not an easy challenge, but if you prepare your body and prepare your mind and your spirit wants you to do it, don't miss out on this kind of opportunity for yourself. It will change your life in ways you never expected. It will make you realize what a magnificent heritage we have and that we are the children of kings and queens. I am blessed to be able to do this.
You know, Ms. Ann said it so eloquently. She did all of the different things to prepare for the trip. And this is beautiful to see those of us who are part of the African diaspora visiting different parts of Africa. Africa is a vast continent with more than 50 countries, thousands of cultures, thousands of languages. So it's not a monolith. When I hear people talk about Africa, oh, Africa this, Africa that. And it's like, well, which part of Africa are you talking about? Because South Africa is very different from East Africa, is very different from West Africa, very different from North Africa, Central Africa. So it's very, very different. But when you see someone like Miss Ann, 72 years old, having this experience and overcoming the different thoughts that she had, different things that other people said, she had the experience of a lifetime, and that's what we want you to have. And that's why you signing up today and joining one of these trips, one of the many trips that we have at bit.ly/LJ Destinations can get you there. You can do it. Payment plans are available. That's the one thing that we emphasize to everyone, because people wonder, are payment plans available? Yes, they are. First step, do you have your passport? If you don't have your passport, let's get your passport process started today. And then we'll help you with the visa process. I tell people all the time, you want to relax and enjoy. That's what we do here. We take the stress out of it. We minimize it. We coach you through the process. We have a group in Egypt right now having the time of their life. We have people in Ghana all the time having the time of their life. In South Africa, in Kenya, and we're going to be introducing Senegal. All of these places, because someone said, you know what? Just like Miss Ann said, why? I need to go, and I'm going to do what it takes in order to get there. Why should everyone else have the experience? Why should everyone else enjoy the continent? Why is this wealthy continent restricted from so many of those who descend from there? And so sometimes we think, oh, well, the cost, I can't get there. I can't do this. I can't do that. And the reality is we do exactly what we want to do. We go where we want to go. We shop where we want to go. We eat where we want to eat. We do exactly what we want to do. And so what we've done is created a bridge so that can happen for you too. Many people want to see, and we're going to show you how you can get there. Now, here's something else that Miss Ann had to say. I thought that was really interesting, addressing when people say to her, why would you want to go to Africa? What's going on? I'm not going to go there. Them people sold us. Them people did this. Them people did all of this, that, and the other. And oftentimes when people say that, they don't understand the very complicated history on the continent, how it wasn't that simple. But when they go and they see for themselves, they begin to learn, wait a minute, it wasn't that simple. Well, let's hear what Miss Ann had to say about how she addressed the different fears and concerns about her traveling alone. What are some of the things that your family and friends said when you were talking about traveling to Africa?
Some people were saying they were afraid to travel to Africa, and why did I want to do that? I was like, why wouldn't you want to do that? This is the motherland. This is where we came from. We didn't come to the U.S. voluntarily. We need to see what's our real home. And I think people were worried too because of my age and that they felt I was traveling alone, that I wasn't going to Africa with a family member or a spouse or a friend. They have become my family and friends. They have helped me every step of the way. I have a cane. They made sure that I was on level ground. They made sure that I didn't stumble. They made sure if I got tired, I had a place to sit. They watched out for me. If I was slower than everybody else, they still waited. They took care of me. These people have become my friends and family here in Africa. And for many of us, we are going to be neighbors and friends, I found out, back in the U.S. in a couple of years. I'm really excited about that because I'm going to be close to many of them and where they live now. So it's been an opportunity to make new friends from all over the United States. There's some people here from Canada, from all over the world, and it's the experience of a lifetime. You would not regret it if you took this opportunity for yourself. It's an investment in you. It's not an investment, that you think of in terms of money. It's an investment in terms of knowledge and spirit and hope and love for what we are as a people.
Well, I tell you, Miss Ann, again, had so much to say in that particular clip. And she also talked about how there are so many people that she connected with. I tell people all the time, what we do is not simply a trip. It is an experience. It's a travel experience of a lifetime. And again, you have someone, 72 years old. She said, hey, listen, I'm going on this trip. I'm going to do what it takes to get there. And so that's the thing. We made it easy for her to get there. It wasn't a difficult process. It was easy for her to get there, and she had the time of her life. All right, let's walk down some more places that we take you to, and we're going to kind of go back to back. It's going to be real quick where you get a chance to see some of the different destinations featured. And again, if you sign up before April 25th, midnight. That's when it's turning to April 25th, you can get $400 off. And Leslie and I talk about that in a little bit. But what's next? What's the next destination? What do you think it is? Well, you know what it is.
Europe, Latin America, Asia, and even Australia. Our list of must-see travel destinations always mention these continents. Yet on our quest for tropical beaches, rich history, rousing entertainment, and dynamic adventure, we rarely focus on the continent that leads the way in all of these things and more, Africa. Ghana, an English-speaking country, is often the first choice for those embarking on their introductory trip to the African continent, which is why it is affectionately referred to as the gateway to Africa. Ghana has a stable government and ease of access from the United States. This is why global giants such as Twitter, Google, and Amazon have all decided to have offices in Ghana, and why celebrities like Stevie Wonder and Dave Chappelle frequent Ghana and are even purchasing land there. The only way to discover why everyone is so enamored with Ghana is to travel there for yourself and see firsthand. We assembled the perfect combination of Ghana's most acclaimed sites and activities. With upscale accommodations, thought-provoking outings, and engaging group activities, we create a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you won't forget. Ghana's art scene is colorful and unique, and we will highlight everything from dancers to graffiti to handcrafted coffins. Ghana's cuisine is bold, aromatic, and flavorful, and we will ensure that you have the opportunity to taste their most renowned dishes. While traveling with us, you will experience both humbling history and exciting excursions, serene beaches and vivacious nightlife, local culture and modern comfort. Come to Ghana with us and experience the adventure of a lifetime. Egypt is well known for its ancient history, impressive pyramids, and stories of temples and mummies. However, there's a lesser-known side of Egypt that we will delve into on our travel experience. Kemet was once one of the names given to Egypt by indigenous African inhabitants. Our travel team will guide you on an incredible journey of discovery as we cruise down the world-famous Nile River, which has been a lifeline for Africa for thousands of years. You will be able to see the tombs of distinguished pharaohs and monuments of celebrated mythical gods. We will also visit the Nubian village, the original dark-skinned people of Egypt. Some of their ways can still be seen today, lingering in the culture of modern Africans. There are many links between ancient Egypt and Africa today, such as the hairstyles like braids and locks. We will also see similarities in how today's Egyptian culture puts family at utmost importance. During your stay, you will partake in traditional Egyptian cuisine and enter traditional Egyptian markets filled with jewelry, spices, and oils. Come to Egypt with us and experience the adventure of a lifetime.
Tell you like this, if as you see the pictures and you see how people are having such a great time, these are all people from our travel experiences over the past couple of years. And right now we have a group in Egypt. All right now. And so in a couple of weeks, next week as a matter of fact, we have a group going to Ghana, and then we have a group there shortly thereafter going to be in Tanzania. And you can be a part of this, so you can look right there. As a matter of fact, let me bring it up. If you go to the link below, bit.ly/LJ Destinations, and when you click on that link, this is where you'll go, and this is what you'll see. So you want to make sure that you're a part of it. And again, let's see here. This is what you'll see. And you scroll through. And as you scroll through, you'll be able to see all of the different destinations. All of the different destinations you can see by simply going to the link below, bit.ly/LJ destination. So you just saw Ghana and Egypt. Now, those are two places we go, very popular places, but there are other places that we venture into. And as a matter of fact, what do you think the next place is that's popular on our list? Well, you know what it is. Check it out. South Africa. South Africa is affectionately known as the Rainbow Nation due to its diversity of people and cultures. With more than 11 official languages and dozens of ethnic groups, South Africa is a true melting pot. The city of Johannesburg is a bustling urban metropolis. It boasts vibrant nightlife, world-class cuisine, cutting-edge art galleries, and exciting shopping districts. It even has incredible wildlife just outside of the city limits. And then there's Cape Town, situated in the southernmost tip of the African continent. It is full of majestic vistas, awe-inspiring beaches, and abundant outdoor activities. South Africa may be best known for its struggle against apartheid, led by Nelson Mandela, who after being in prison for 27 years went on to become South Africa's first black president. Maximum Impact Travel has curated an experience that allows you to see the many sides of South Africa, from its rich traditions and complex history to its thriving Amapiano music scene and fantastic natural beauty. There's something for everyone in the Rainbow Nation. Come explore South Africa with Maximum Impact Travel. And many of you have been waiting to go to South Africa, and we make it easy for you to do it. That's right. You can go to South Africa. As a matter of fact, I was just in South Africa. That's right, just in South Africa. And here's some pictures that we took in South Africa. Look at that. We were all having a great time. As a matter of fact, we still in our WhatsApp group just talking about the great time that we had in South Africa. And you can join us in South Africa. Here we are again in South Africa, Robben Island. We had a chance to go there as well. And so we want you to be able to have this experience. And let's see what else. There we go. Me cutting up again, just having a good time, enjoying some of the wonderful people we have an opportunity to spend time with on these different travel experiences. And if you want to join us, all you have to do, bit.ly/LJ Destinations, and take advantage of the $400 off. And you go there, you can see all of the trips that we offer. And let's see, what's next up? The next trip, which one do you think it is? It's this one of these two countries in West Africa. And they have such unique charm and such unique character and a lot of history. Many people mention these countries by name. I think you might have an idea of what it is, but I'll let the video tell you. Located in West Africa, Senegal is often thought of as Africa's cultural hub. It's a mecca of rich traditions, historic landmarks, and memorable landscapes. Home to 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites and 6 national parks. Senegal is brimming with one-of-a-kind experiences. The Gambia is the smallest country on mainland Africa. Although surrounded by Senegal to the north, east, and south, when you venture to the west of the Gambia's borders, you will find some of the most stunning and serene beaches Africa has to offer. Let Maximum Impact Travel introduce you to the countries of Senegal and the Gambia, known collectively as Senegambia. This region is famous for its delicious cuisine, pristine beaches, and most of all, its welcoming locals, giving Senegambia the name the Smiling Coast. There's so much to do here, from visiting Kunta Kinte Island to walking with full-grown lions. Senegal and the Gambia are full of adventure. Experience it all with Maximum Impact Travel. Oh, I can tell you, Senegal and the Gambia, both of them together are, I believe, have two of the most beautiful landscapes in West Africa and the whole continent. Because what you get in Senegal, you get the beach, you get the desert, you have the camels, you have the history. It's a lot going on in Senegal and the Gambia. Some of the nicest beaches I've ever been to. And then there's this fascinating thing that happens in Senegal in the evening. It's like the whole city of Dakar comes out and they work out on the beach. I mean, I've never seen anything like this anywhere on the continent, anywhere in the world, where you have thousands of people coming out on the beach and literally working out. They have gym equipment out there. They're working out in groups. I mean, it's like Senegal and the Gambia have something really special. I saw this in the Gambia as well, have something really special. And if you would like to go, you see the link right there below and you can join us. We have trips coming up this summer. And this summer coming up for Senegal and the Gambia as well as South Africa. And also this next duo you can join us on.
Kenya is undoubtedly the powerhouse of East Africa. Its thriving tech industry has garnered lots of attention in recent years, even earning Kenya the nickname of Silicon Savannah, with many hailing as Africa's equivalent to America's Silicon Valley. Kenya's capital, Nairobi, is one of the most iconic cities in the world. With a population larger than Los Angeles, Toronto, Paris, or Cape Town, Nairobi is a true metropolis. Here you'll experience Kenya's most vibrant nightlife, as well as engage with Maasai communities as they show you the traditional way of life in their villages. With a plethora of activities and excursions within driving distance, Nairobi is the perfect starting point for you to explore the wonders of Kenya with maximum impact travel. We will then take you to Seychelles, a stunning paradise comprised of 115 islands. This elusive locale boasts some of the most beautiful beaches on earth. These granite islands are some of the oldest in the world and host an abundance of rare forms of flora. Only in Seychelles will you find the famed coco de mer fruit, which has the largest and heaviest seed of any fruit in the world. The culture in Seychelles is an intermingling of African, European, and Asian influences, which can be seen in the music, dance, architecture, and cuisine. Let Maximum Impact Travel guide you on a journey in Kenya and Seychelles that you won't forget.
Kenya and Seychelles, and I will tell you, Seychelles, I believe, probably has the most beautiful landscape in Africa. South Africa is right there with it, and then you have Senegal and the Gambia. Nigeria has some nice landscape as well. You find it, so many different places. Ethiopia, of course, Egypt has, especially when you get down towards Aswan in Egypt. Speaking of that, here's just some of the pictures with some of the groups that we've been with. You get a chance here is at Queen Hatshepsut's Temple in Egypt, and you can join us there. And then here we are leaving there, another group that we have in Egypt, one of our travel partners. And then here we are dressed up for the Galabea. The Galabea, we had such a good time that evening, and you begin to just see, just what ends up happening. You see the family aspect of what's happening. Even, we become a family. It's a travel family. It's not a travel group. That's what happens when you become a part of the Maximum Impact Travel experience. And again, if you want to take advantage of what we're offering right now, go to bit.ly/LJ Destinations. And you can participate in or take advantage of the $400 off. All right, here's one last duo that I'm going to show you. One last duo, a very, very special duo in West Africa. Many of you will recognize their names.
Togo is a small country in West Africa. It is bordered by Ghana to the west and Burkina Faso to the north and Benin to the east. Although its official language is French, here you will find more than 20 languages spoken amongst 40 different ethnic groups. Its neighbor Benin is another small French-speaking country. But what these two countries lack in size, they make up for in their powerful history. Some estimates show that as many as 20% of African Americans have genetic ties to this area. Maximum Impact Travel will shed light on how this region is an important piece of the African diasporan puzzle. We will also curate a culinary experience that emphasizes the strong ties between this region's cuisine and what we collectively know as soul food. You will dine at some of Togo and Benin's most popular restaurants and partake in dishes that highlight how food greatly connects and shapes the experience of the African diaspora. You will also learn how this region managed to preserve their religious practices and beliefs even after European colonization and rule. From independence monuments to sacred forests to entire villages built upon stilts, Togo and Benin have so much in store. Experience it all with Maximum Impact Travel.
All right, now I know that was, for some of y'all, that a little too much going on with the snakes, right? It's all right, it's all right. It's all right. And all my vegan folks out there, let me just let you know, it's okay, I got you covered. We got you covered. Take a look at this.
All right, so now you're vegan, right?
Yes, I am.
And now how's the food?
It's delicious. There are plenty of options. Very good. Delicious.
All right, so you're happy.
Yes, they make it special for you.
Oh, look at that. And it looks good. Nice and hot.
Yes, very good.
See, so just to let everybody know, you don't have to worry about what you're going to eat. We've covered a lot of territory as far as destinations are concerned. Everything is so different. That's why we want you to go to the link right here below, and you can read about the different trips. You can see the itineraries. You can see everything spelled out for you. You can see how the payment plans are set up. So when you go to sign up, you can see before you click that you're going to submit, you can see how much everything is going to be. It's spelled out. Now, a couple of things, and the frequently asked questions: are the trips friendly for adults? Yes. Are they friendly for those who may be our elders? Yes. Is there a lot of physical movement? Yes. And so the reason why I say yes to all of the above is because we can modify certain things based upon the requirement. Obviously, if somebody is severely incapacitated, it would be difficult to do it. But if someone needs to move a little bit slower, that's fine. Just like Miss Ann said, it becomes a travel family, and that's very important for everyone to understand. We don't want you to miss out on this experience because of being fearful of being taken care of. We make sure that you're taken care of on these trips, and we make sure that we do our very best to create an environment where everyone has a good time. We don't want anyone. We don't need any negative Nancy's to come along and make it difficult for someone. What we do is we make sure that what we present to everyone is this type of vibe, where it's like, hey, listen, you're coming to become a part of this travel family. You can have a great time, and as you have a great time, you go back and tell your family and friends. And this is the first of many trips. And I will tell you, we've had people travel with us 3 times in 1 year. 3 times in 1 year because they had such a good time. What the trip that we have coming up to South Africa, people have been with us. This will be their 4th trip with us in the past 2 years, because they understand and recognize what we're doing. And that's one of the reasons why Leslie wanted to become a part of the Maximum Impact Travel experience. She wanted to be able to share that with you because she understands that this is what we do, and we've been doing this consistently. And if you look at the reviews and read the reviews, you see the profound impact that it has on them. We say maximum impact, but it's also a profound impact, and that's what we want for you and your family. We've had people, parents, bring their children, 3 children. I've seen one gentleman, he had his mother, his wife, and his 3 children come along on the trip. We had another couple bring their 3 children because they understand the importance of, one, seeing things in person and understanding that we're in a bubble in America, and if the only information that we consume is American information, that's the only way that we're going to think. But they call us African American, but yet we don't understand the vast and diverse and complicated history on the continent of Africa, which really ties to us. Because for many of us, we're complex and complicated, and we're trying to figure things out. But when you get on that side of the Atlantic, it all starts to make sense. And you begin to understand the history that's taken place that has shaped much of what we do here in America. And it's a fascinating thing. It's a fascinating experience. And I'll continue to say, an experience, an experience, an experience. If you want to travel, don't let the finance, because a lot of times we say, oh man, the money, this, that, and the other, I can't do it. Well, here's a gentleman right here, Mr. William Doctor, in his 70s. He says it very, 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 very clearly, his thought about how he was able to travel to Ghana.
Ghana is a very beautiful place with beautiful people. A lot of exciting things to be done here. You have beautiful landscape, and like I said, you have beautiful people, and they're friendly and they're warm. So The thing about Western media, they love to lie and love to demonize Africa as it's a bad place. Come, don't come here. It's not a good place to come. People is fighting, people is dying in the street, all different stuff like that. But I find that to be a lie. And what the brothers and sisters need to do, they need to sacrifice and come to Africa and see for themselves. So it's a wake-up call for me. It will be a wake-up call for you too if you decide to get up and come to your origin, come home, be with your people, and enjoy yourself around your people. Well, I'm wasting money on foolishness because at the time Africa was knocking my mind to come here because listening to the media, you don't desire to come. You can come to Africa. I could have been to Africa a long time ago. All the money I threw away, that'd been my ticket. That'd been my plane ticket to come here to Africa and be here. And the possibility I probably would have moved here. Because what I see now, my desire is to come back to Africa again. So I think every young individual should come here, build a foundation on the truth. Think about the amount of money that you spend every day, every month, every year. It's not that expensive to come here. Because if I made it as a retired individual, and you know that a person who retired, they're not making that much money. So you can save your money, sacrifice, and come home. You don't have to worry about looking over your shoulders. You don't have to worry about getting shot down in the streets because you're among your people. The food was delicious. Ghana is...
The food was delicious. Okay, that's the one question. That was just talking about Ghana. When I think about the food in South Africa, I think about the food in Tanzania. I think about the food, obviously, in Ghana, of course, in West Africa. So you don't have to worry about what you're going to eat. And that's something that we pay close attention to. Sometimes people say, well, okay, what am I going to eat? Well, 70% of what you're going to eat is going to be familiar. I've spent the better half of the past 2 years on the continent of Africa setting up different destinations so that when those of us from where I come from here, I'm from the DMV, I'm also from South Carolina. So people who from where I come from, when you come over, someone who comes from where you come from has already thought this thing all the way through. When it comes to the visa process, depending on which country you're going to, it may range. The price for a visa may cost you $100. It may cost you $25, or there may be no visa. So in the case of South Africa, there's no visa. Egypt is a $25 visa fee. Ghana is a $100 visa fee. Tanzania is an e-visa process. Now, I will tell you, Ghana has the most complicated visa process, but we walk you through that. We've never had anyone denied for a visa. So these are things that we've dedicated ourselves to so that we can bridge this gap, so that when we come back and educate our community, we're not trusting the education system to do it exclusively because we're going to get the information for ourselves. We're now creating these experiences just like everyone else in the world, because when you go to Egypt, you'll see everyone else in the world there. But who's missing? The African diaspora many times. Or if you look at the large percentage of people, the African diaspora is a low percentage, but many of us need to get that information to understand the migrations and the history. Even if we might not originate from that part of Africa, it's good to know just some of that history and where people came from, and understanding that everyone in Egypt does not look one particular way. Egypt has a very diverse complexion ethnicity. So that's something to be able to see as well. One little girl, we took her to the village in Aswan. And so a little girl right here from America, just a little sister, and so the children all came out to look at her because she looked just like them. And they were like, well, who is she? And she's standing there like, I'm just me. But they all looked alike. And it was something that it was an education for them as well as for her. So that's what we want you to be able to do. So let's cover just a couple things here real quick, and then I'll take some questions. If you have some questions, you can definitely put them right here in the comments. I can see what's going on. What's going on, Deshaun? How's everything? Deshaun, Gandhi, MI family. There we go. So Us becoming a family, we want you to have this experience, and that's what you hear time and time again. Next thing is this: people are ready to travel. People have been cooped up in the house too long. People have been cooped up in the house, and they are ready to travel. That's one thing for sure. And so what we're going to do is make sure that this happens. So first step is this: if you're planning for your trip, you want to make sure you have your passport. All right, so get your passport. And get your passport book. If you don't have it, you can go to the post office, and you can go to the post office, and you go into the post office. That will you can set up your appointment there, and so we'll walk you through the visa process. So here's the next thing: decide to go. That's the deal. Decide to go. If you decide to go, all you have to do is go to the link, and when you go to the link, you can sign up. And in that process, you want to make sure that you stay focused on the big thing. Life will happen, all right? So keep your why in front of you. Why do you want to travel to these different destinations? That's what you want to do. Also, you're going to get objections from your family and friends. They're going to be second guessing. They don't see the value in it. They're going to tell you Africans sold us like everybody on the continent of Africa sold us. They're going to tell you they don't like us. And with all of the videos that you just saw, that clearly, the whole they don't like us, that's clearly not the experience that others are having. And so maybe one or two people have those experiences. But hey, you know what? That's something that we want to make sure that we can go and see for ourselves. So if you have any questions, what you can do, go to info@maximum.impacttravel.com. But what we really want you to do right here, go to this link below right here. There you go. And you can go to that link and you can submit your questions there as well. And so Leslie, I'm coming back to you. Let's see. All right. You ready? Are you ready?
I am.
You ready?
Am I there? Can you see me, folks? We have a booking already, Jay. We have a booking already.
Whoop, whoop.
So, folks, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. One of the reasons why, because, I've been to Ghana 5 times within the last 2 years, and there's been several, travel to Africa companies that I have been introduced to. But the reason why I chose Maximum Travel is because, I don't know if you're going to say this, Jay, but Jay Cameron literally goes on his tours, works all the kinks out 2 to 3 times before people even show up. Who does that? Does that? So to give you a quick story, the second time I went through a tourist company, it's called volunteering. They would volunteer, help the local schools, help the children, but then we will go on sites and tour the actual tourist locations. But this individual didn't do his due diligence. So we would get to the hotels where we're staying and they wouldn't even have our booking.
Woo.
You see what I mean? So things like that is a big deal on people's experiences, especially a couple of people from the group. That was their first time coming to Africa. Okay. They're having issues with their bookings, the transportation. It was a mess. Okay. So when you told me that you work out all the kinks ahead of time, I said, that's it. That's what separates the men and the mice. Is that the same? That's what separates the boo-boo and the great, the okay and the world, right? On a vacation. A lot of us have, like I said, have never been to the motherland. So I want to make sure that if you go through my link and, my name's on the line, my reputation's on the line, I want to make sure that it's done in excellence, that we get what our money is paying for, and that we continue on to go back. Because after, especially my first trip, I had a tour guide that wasn't a tour guide, come to find out, right? So through Maximum Impact Travel, that's avoided because the due diligence is done prior to. So, some of you guys already know my story with my first trip. We're not going to go into it, but people will act like tourists or tour guides and not be it. So I wanted to say that, yeah.
Well, the good thing is for everybody to rest assured that we are insured. We are a legitimate company. You can read our reviews. And so that's something that, our track record speaks for itself. You can look at the videos, you can look at the testimonials. So now, with that said, it's up to you. You can get $400 off. When you sign up, we will take the $400 off after you sign up. You don't have to worry about it coming off at that moment. And obviously, with us putting this energy, you get to the continent and see one of the many destinations that we talked about. Maybe this time you pick one destination and then you plan for the next one and you plan it out. It can happen if you plan it out. We do what we want to do. That's the bottom line. When it comes to vaccinations, the only vaccinations that you have to worry about in Ghana right now, yellow fever. That's the one in West Africa, the yellow fever vaccination. But if you get an exemption from your doctor, you can get an exemption from your doctor, and that would suffice. And that's what you can read on the Ghana Embassy website. South Africa doesn't require any vaccinations. Egypt doesn't require any vaccinations. Tanzania, Kenya only require yellow fever if you're coming from a country that has yellow fever. So even when it comes to that, when they tell you, oh, you need all these shots to go to Africa, oh, you need all of this, that, and the other, a lot of this is done to keep you away and to make sure you don't go see what's over there. I'll tell you like this. Last time I went to Kenya and I was leaving through the passport queue, there were about 200 people in the passport queue, and there were only 2 people that had melanin in their skin going to Kenya. And I said to myself, there's a problem. I said, Houston or wherever, Kenya, we got a problem because we don't know. And I'll tell you like this, some of the most beautiful beaches you'll ever see, some of the tastiest foods you'll ever eat, some of the nicest people that you'll ever meet, we are missing out. If we think America is all that it is, as much as we complain about America, and if we think that's all it is and we don't think there's another world out here, then they have done a wonderful job on our minds. What I realize and what Leslie realized and what so many other people are realizing is that there's a world out here that everyone else benefits from and partakes of except us. And that's why we're bridging the gap. That's why we're creating this experience so you can have this experience and you can pass this information down for generations to come. We're not waiting for somebody else to teach us and show us. We're going out and being proactive, having a great time, you have the luxury, you have all these different things. Depending on which trip you select, you have all of these different options. And we're coming back and we're sharing with our family and friends. And guess what? You can do it too. So here it is. Sign up by midnight, April 25th, and get $400 off. Go to the link bit.ly/LJ Destinations, and you can see the whole list of trips. It's right there for you. And even if you're watching this after the deadline, still take a look at the list of trips. Who knows what specials we might have in place by signing up. And so send us an email, if you're watching after the deadline, to find out if there are any additional specials. I can tell you it won't be this special right here, but maybe there'll be another special. Maybe there'll be
It's the one and only right now. The one and only.
Oh, this is the other thing. And all you have to do is put $199 down. So it's not like you're having to put a whole lot of money down. And you can have, depending on which trip you select, you can have 12 payment options in order to take care of everything. And so you can pace it out. You can do it. That's the one thing I know. You can do it, and we want you to be on one of our travel experiences. We have a team. We have a great team in every country that we go to. As a matter of fact, this is just one example right here. Here's some of These are lifetime memories that you will carry with you. I'm telling you, I was here. I'm not on every trip, just to let everybody know, but that's the team in Ghana. Let me go back to that. That's the team in Ghana right there. And you there's Morris in there, there's Paul, I see Emmanuel. So there's a whole group of people in some places that are working with you. And so that's just a part of what we do. We go and we also make sure, because sometimes people will say, well, I'm looking for the budget trip. I'm looking for the cheap trip. If you go on a trip and the trip is too cheap, that 9 times out of 10, they're exploiting the people in those countries, because there's no way that you can pay someone a livable wage and then the trip be dirt cheap. It's just, it does not work. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, to even do that. So our staff is as a matter of fact, what we've done is we've taken people who were getting paid minimal, and now we have quadrupled their salary. And in some cases, we've taken it 5 or 6 times because we understand that there's no way. We don't want to be the colonizer or the imperialist coming in and doing the same thing. So no, we're not going to be the cheapest trip in town, but guess what? You're going to get the heart that comes with it. You're going to get the commitment that someone has gone and vetted this trip to the best of our ability so before you come. And so we're not looking at it as just some fast way to get people to go. We want you to have an experience, and we want to have a positive experience that you would be proud to tell someone about. And that's what we do. And so that's what, that's why we're here. So guess what, everybody? Take advantage of it right now. bit.ly/LJ Destinations.
And
You're gonna have
I got a
time.
question.
Yes.
I got a question.
Got a question.
Can you, folks, get your questions ready so we can tackle that. But until then, my question is, could you break down, because we have people, I'll say different bougie levels. Okay. Yes, so there's people, there's people that, like to travel around the world, but still have the same standard of the Western travel life. Then there's some people like me who will go and live in a coconut hut to experience, the indigenous life. So which countries would you recommend people that are a little bit on the bougie side, or people that are more open to live the more indigenous life? Could you break down the countries that's most relative to those types?
Well, I mean, obviously the hyper bougie would enjoy South Africa. I love South Africa. But the beautiful thing about this is, South Africa is kind of like a double-edged sword. It's beautiful, but it's also very American. And so that's but if you like that, then South Africa is great. Now, what we have done is we have found a way to infuse the history and the culture so you don't, get so fooled into the whole Westernism of South Africa. So, but if you're someone who just needs like a good lateral, South Africa's perfect. We have a perfect South Africa package that is it's upscale. It's our platinum experience. You'll love it. It is. You don't even have to worry about drinking the water in South Africa. It was just that you just go and enjoy. I mean, you just but again, for those who are looking for a bit more of a traditional, when I say traditional, meaning, because I don't even want to put development on a pedestal, but I get it. If you like the bougie things, South Africa has it all. The wine, we take you on the wine tour. You get to see the fast cars. You get to see all the things, the Lambos and all of that. You stay in beautiful hotels, eat at upscale restaurants. South Africa, I love that. Again, you can see the people who went to South Africa. We had a great time. Next up, any other country, Kenya is another one that does not require. You can get a very high level of bouginess in Kenya. Now, I hear a lot of people say, listen, I'm not trying to go to Africa and see the same stuff I see in America. Some people are like, look, I'm trying to go to Africa and I'm looking for America and Africa. So if you're looking for America and Africa, South Africa, you're good to go. Next up would be Nairobi, Kenya, because it is also very Western and developed. Also very nice, a lot of culture, a lot of history in Kenya. So if you don't want that, you can definitely get away from that if you don't want that in Kenya. Tanzania, Dar es Salaam is pretty developed. I stayed in one of the nicest hotels in Dar es Salaam, one of the nicest hotels in Nairobi, definitely South Africa. Ghana, Kempinski, you can stay there. That's upscale. A lot of people seem to like Kempinski and Movenpick. Senegal, Pullman Hotel. You have Sofitel. You have all of these different places in Senegal. Gambia has a lot of nice resorts. I mean, the places that you might not think have a lot of nice places. Of course, Seychelles has the Movenpick and a lot of resorts. Now, if you're looking for something, Egypt obviously has Four Seasons and the Sheraton. So these are name brands. Even when we talk about Nigeria, I stay at the Radisson Blu and the Marriott in Nigeria. So you have this. There's some wonderful hotels in Benin and Togo. Hotel number 5 in Togo is a wonderful hotel. So as far as accommodations are concerned, Leslie, everywhere we go, no one's going to, their bougie meter is not going to be affected. They're going to be like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting this. Now, and we try to keep everything between 4 and 5 star level. Obviously, price range is going to gauge if you want to upgrade. You can do that. Obviously, that's going to cost more, but we keep those things in mind and we try to work with everybody's taste. But as a standard, we just try to stay within that 4 star range. If we're going somewhere a bit more remote, then obviously you want to understand, okay, I'm going out into the bush, so it's going to be a little bit different in the bush. But you know what? Hey, we adapt and we do what we need to do, and everyone has a great time. That's the deal. No one gets caught off guard, no surprises. We communicate. We make sure that everyone is up to speed on everything.
Perfect. Because I know some people that, the bougie radar. So there's something for whatever bougie level you have.
Yeah, tell them to put
Maximum
bougie in the
impact
comments.
capital.
If like any notes to organize, or like when you sign up, it says notes to organize. Say I am bougie. Okay,
I am bougie.
that's right, bougie. So then that way we know. Okay, all right. So let's make sure to pay the difference in the price. Cool, and so we can make that happen.
Good. I didn't know that. That's really good. Yeah. Well, folks, get your questions out now before we wrap. Here
Come
we
on,
come.
Angela. Come
That's
on,
two.
Angela. Whoop.
That's two
Come on.
already
Come
for
on with it.
Tanzania, folks.
Come on
Don't
with it.
play. If I hit 10 or 15 for a trip, don't you will see me right there on the plane next to you, like we going. Like
That's cool.
folks, I appreciate you guys so much. That's two people. Any plans for Ethiopia in the future?
Yes, we are
BCB
looking to
asks
bring.
you. Jay.
As a matter of fact, we're working on Ethiopia now. We're working on Morocco. We're working on Brazil. We're working on Colombia. We're working on the Caribbean. So there are a lot. We're looking at African diaspora destinations. Brazil would probably be coming. Ethiopia should be coming 2024. So we're looking at Ethiopia. It's just the reason why Ethiopia is kind of dicey is because of the climate, the political climate in Ethiopia. So we're mindful of that. It's a time when it's safe for everyone.
Okay. And folks, we've been going back and forth with the volume. Please make sure your volume is as high as you can get it, because we've been managing it. We know about it, and we're working on that as we go through the presentation. What other question? I mean, your presentation really answered everything.
If anybody has
There's a
any
monthly.
additional questions, they can definitely email us at info@maximumimpacttravel.com. Let me go there. They can email. Here it is, info@maximumimpacttravel.com. Email any questions there, and then what they'll do is when they go to the page to book, and the booking page is the page on the bottom of the link right here, bit.ly/LJ Destinations. When they go there, they can still send any questions. Any questions that you have, send our way. The team will get back with you. But we want you to take advantage of that $400 off. That's the deal. Take advantage of the $400 off, and you can do that. And again, traveling to, let's see, who's going? Let's see. Angela, right? Angela Adams.
Yeah, Angela and Lee.
That's right. Angela and Lee. All right. Excellent.
Well, folks, if there's Jay was in Ghana when I was in Sierra Leone getting my dual citizenship, and he flew over from Ghana to congratulate me in Freetown, Sierra Leone. I know, is Sierra Leone part of the package, or
we're discussing Sierra Leone. See, we working. We're discussing it.
I was looking to go through you to go to Sierra Leone, because that's one of my goals this year is to get my dual citizenship. So when I saw you and other people, I'm like, well, that's where I need to go, like yesterday.
All right. Well, you know what? Y'all are gonna talk me into doing Sierra Leone. And when I say that, I love Sierra Leone.
If we can get enough people, we're going to try to persuade Jay to create a Sierra Leone trip. So let's get 15 people to.
let me
Oh, question.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Now this is spontaneous. So if we want I call it a VIP trip. What if someone's able to?
We can definitely do it. And let me just be very, very clear when I talk about Sierra Leone. There's no problem with Sierra Leone in regards to doing a tour. It's just that I know that I would have to prepare people a little differently for Sierra Leone because the infrastructure is not in place the way it is in other places. So that's the only reason why it takes a little bit more time to put it together. Obviously, me being a dual citizen of Sierra Leone, I have been and just sponsored some events in Sierra Leone, looking to sponsor a school in Sierra Leone. When it comes to tourism, and just like you talked about the bougie meter right there, that bougie thing, so I have to. You think these through, but of course we're going to end up in Sierra Leone because I'm a descendant of Sierra Leone. I'm a descendant of the Tammany people. So that's coming. It's just not happening like right now because we have so many others. So just know Sierra Leone is on tap. Somebody even hit me up from Mauritania. I didn't even think about Mauritania, but somebody hit me up with Mauritania.
What's that?
Right
Where is that?
Yeah, it's right above Senegal. Yeah, so and I would love to take people. Some people asked about other countries like Cameroon and Gabon and Angola. So these are places that we'll definitely look at. But I know what the expectations are, and so what I want to do is have introductions for when people go, the culture shock level. They're able to adjust to it appropriately, and then as we go, we'll dive deeper into it a little bit more. But you know what? If anybody can do it, we can do it here at Maximum Impact Travel. And there's just a certain way I wanted to be presented and wanted to be represented, and that's so that's the deal. But guess what? Between you and Deshaun and others, I have a feeling Sierra Leone is coming on tap. And shout out to my man Francis as well. So I have a feeling Sierra Leone is on tap, and I'm actually going to jump back over there real quick myself. So all shout out to Salone and the entire everybody over there who's shown so much love. The people are exceptionally nice in Sierra Leone, exceptionally nice. There's no issue at all when it comes to the people. The people are beyond nice, and some of the most helpful people that I've encountered. It reminds me, Freetown reminds me of Kumasi, Ghana. That's when I was in Freetown. I said, wow, this feels like Kumasi. It felt like, like a larger Kumasi. That's what Freetown felt like. So it felt very familiar. Okay. And, so that's the deal. So it's on the way. It's on the way, y'all. Y'all heard it.
Okay. We're patiently waiting for you.
I'm going to have to move faster. I got it. I already know what I got to do. I just got to make a phone call.
Got you. Well, folks, we're wrapping it up. If that's all your questions, that's all your questions. Remember, visit the bit.ly LJ Destinations for the $400 discount by April 25th, Eastern Time, 12 a.m. And Jay, thank you so much. Let me tell you how I met Jay, for those that don't know. I'm sorry, I'm looking at YouTube, and then there's a screen here too. I met Jay because what was his name? His IG, his handle name. What? Darn it. Okay, we're gonna get it down one day. Yeah. But he tagged you in one of my posts on IG. This was in 2021, and who would have thought we would be here doing what we're doing now and helping bridging the gap from the the African diaspora to come back to the motherland. And no, it wasn't Tim Swain, BCB. It was I'm gonna get his name right.
His name is gonna pop up in a second. It's gonna
something black, like black something.
Oh, Dilworth.
Yeah, DW.
Yeah.
Yes. DW. So, folks, this connection happened because he tagged Jay in one of my videos. So who would have thought we would be here doing this today? This is just the beginning. I'm super excited. Like, we already have 2 people. Like, what? Tanzania and Zanzibar. Done deal. Anything that you would like to close out and say? Follow Jay Cameron at Jay Cameron Official. I'll put the main link is already in the description box. And is there anything you want to close out with saying?
All I'll say is take you.
Before you say that.
Go ahead.
Unity through community. You can get your shirts. Okay, go ahead.
No, all I was going to say is to make sure that, for all of us, that we understand the importance of doing things now. Sometimes we say, I'm going to put it off. I'm going to get to it one day. I'm going to do it eventually. I'm going to, find a way to, someday I'm going to get to it. And what COVID taught us is that tomorrow is not promised. We don't know what's coming around the corner. We don't know what types of scenarios are out there. And I'm just taking this one moment here just to kind of do this. This should help a little bit more, I'm thinking. All right. And so doing it now, so if you take the time to go ahead and take advantage of this moment in time, what begins to happen is you set up the future. In 2019, I had friends of mine we were talking about climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. And they said, well, you know what? I'm going to go climb Kilimanjaro in 2020 when I get things in order. I knew in 2019 I was supposed to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Had I not climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in 2019, when COVID came, I would have missed out on that experience and everything that I learned from that journey. And so 2020, I was still traveling back and forth to Africa, laying the foundation for 2021. People began to travel with us in 2021, had the time in their life, came back with us in 2022. Other people saw what we were doing, and before you knew it, now there were people who were traveling with us. Larger companies were calling us because we had laid the groundwork in different parts of Africa that they were afraid to go to. I didn't wait, and that's what I say. The message in this, I did not wait. I did it when I was supposed to, and what was on the other side, I couldn't see at that time. But now I see it and others see it. And these hundreds of people would not have had these experiences had we not done what we were supposed to do in that moment. So I say for you, who's waiting on you to take this step? Who might you meet on that continent that you don't even know right now? Who might you be able to bring information back to and impact their life because you took a leap of faith right now and made the decision to do it? So that's what I leave everyone with tonight. Do it now. Don't delay.
Share, subscribe to both of our pages. Leave in the comments if you, I guess this is a lot. This will always be here. So it's not like we have to do, let us know, and we will see if we can make that happen. And yeah, folks, enjoy the rest of your life today. Bye.
These are lifetime memories that you will carry with you. I'm telling you, I was here around this time last year. It was last November. And that's when I decided, I said, oh yeah, we'll be back.
Hello, I'm Ingrid Briggs from Atlanta, Georgia. This is my second trip with Maximum Impact Travel.
My birthday was Sunday, October 2nd. And my first trip to Africa. I've been wanting to go to Egypt since I was a 9-year-old little girl, so I'm finally scratching something off on my bucket list, and I'm here with my daughter and my sister-in-law.
And my wife is paranoid to travel and all. Believe me, no more scratches, clinging on the airplane. All that is over with, but I'm glad to meet all you guys here.
And just like Sean, I've always wanted to come to Egypt. It's been a dream of mine, and my dream has come true. And it's been on my bucket list.
I'm having a hard time finding people to travel with internationally, so I'm very excited to meet all of you people, hopefully make some connections, and my birthday is tomorrow.
I'm just going to go ahead and say hello, family, because
if you do your, due diligence.
And I wanted to see how much it changed, and I'm looking forward to meeting new people and just having fun.
So happy birthday! And I was invited by this posse here. We might have a name when we done.
I was in Ghana last year. I'm here with the four amigos.
My second trip, and hopefully Impact Travel.
while we've been here, I've been FaceTiming and Facebook and messaging my family, and I tell them that Impact